My name is Haneef Robinson. I'm a senior at Kelsey Academy. Before I attended AZ, I was in Clayton County attending Morrow High School. And I moved here last school year, second semester last school year. I went to Griffin High, stopped going to Griffin High and switched to AZ. So the reason that I switched from Griffin High to Spalding, to AZ, because when I moved to Spalding County, it was a little bit of a culture shock. I'm used to being in the inner city. Like, I was born in Minnesota, so I grew up most of my time like in Minneapolis, like near downtown. And then I moved to Georgia when I was 9, and I went to Clayton County, but attended a lot of schools in Atlanta. So I was used to kind of different culture. So when I had got to Griffin, I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, but it was different. Like, I wasn't used to it, like cowboy boots and stuff. Like, I was like, it's not the same. So let me just get done with school as fast as I can. And my counselor gave me a list of options, and AZ was on the options, so I chose to attend AZ. And why I chose AZ out of all the other options, I chose it, but I really let my parents choose it, kinda, because I didn't really care about school at that point, but I was like, I'm not doing nothing right now, so I might as well go back to school. And when I got the list of options, it was an academy, so it wasn't like I was in trouble, even though it was an alternative school. It's not like it was a disciplinary reason. It was so they had the option for me to catch up. They had the option to give me extra classes because I had just left school, so I was behind on certain things. And they had the option to give me extra credits and get extra credits. So that's why I chose to go to the Academy of AZ. So how I even got behind was basically since I started going to school from kindergarten. I always just was in trouble doing something, just not caring, doing what I wanted to do. And so I didn't like the schools I was going to, so I just decided I just wasn't gonna do nothing. I was gonna do what I wanted to do, not do work. I wasn't gonna bend to what my parents was trying to make me do. Now that I'm looking back, it was the better. It was good. I was just stubborn. I was just a stubborn kid. I didn't want to do what they told me to do. If it wasn't my way, then I wasn't gonna make it work your way. We was gonna go back and forth. But I wasn't gonna give my all to something that I didn't even want to do in the first place. So I took that approach to school a lot. And moving to Spalding County and away from where I grew up, it kind of showed me this not where you from. This is different. You gotta change. You just change where you live, the demographic of people that you deal with. So you gotta change yourself a little bit. So I decided, put my pride to the side, let my ego go, and just give it a try. What everybody was telling me to do, because it wasn't working my way at the time. I wasn't doing it my way. So I decided to give it a shot and actually put in a little bit of effort for the first time since I've been in school from kindergarten, and that's how I came to AZ and succeeded. The reason I decided to change was because what I just previously told you, but AZ had the tools for me to actually put my desire and manifest it physically, into going on the right track, basically. And I guess the smaller classrooms is really attention on you. When I was in big classrooms, I could sneak under the radar, not really do nothing, look at people's work, just really skip by, skip through the cracks. So at AZ, it really put responsibility on me, because it's kind of all eyes on you. You can't really, they individualize it. You are the focus. It's not the big classroom, the class. They break it down to each student, and they kind of get to know you individually. And that's what helped me change, I guess. Welding came into play because everybody was just saying welding. Like I just said, I was letting go of my pride and ego and just kind of like letting everybody else. I was taking a step back, and I'm gonna just listen to the older folks. Like they done live more life. Clearly, my way not working so far. So let me just try to do it their way. And everybody was saying welding, so I said, let me do welding. It wasn't really nothing I knew about. I just heard about good pay, and like I said, everybody around me was just saying welding. So I said, let's just listen to them real quick and see how it turned out. So that's how I got into welding. My counselor, Miss Bowens, Miss Carter, she told me about the second option, and that's what I chose to do. And yeah, she set me up with welding right away, a couple days after. So I always heard about dual enrollment. I never knew what it was because school was never my focus, for real. So I never really cared about it, but I heard about it. And when I came to AZ, it was a lot of like people talking about like dual enrollment in trades and other options rather than just going straight to college after high school. So that's how I found out about it. And yeah, the welding came into part. Like I said, people were telling me welding's a good option. So I chose that to be my course in GRCCA. I would say welding. Welding's the next, like that's the first step after school. That's not the end goal. The end goal is not to be a welder forever. What I'm gonna do with the welding is fun, what I actually wanna do, which I'm still kind of finding out, but the money for welding, that's why I did it. I didn't grow up welding or knowing anything about it. I heard about the money, so I'm gonna use that to get me to doing something I actually enjoy, got a passion for it. So I would tell my younger self, I would say it's good. Like, it's not always bad to be stubborn in what you want for yourself or what you believe in. I wouldn't say get rid of being stubborn. I wouldn't say that at all, because it definitely helped me in situations too. As far as morals, standards you set for yourself, be stubborn. I would say flow with a purpose. Like, don't get too caught up in this way, my way, no other way. I would say flow with a purpose. Let things change. Let things take you where it's going. But don't just give up and say, I'm gonna do what everybody else wants me to do. I would say have a goal, have a vision, but don't let it change, let it mold in. Don't take the hardest path. I would definitely say don't take the hardest path, because that's what I did. I would say you don't gotta be a rebel. It's like it's no reason. You're not gonna get nowhere being a rebel, depending on what the cause is. Me personally, I was a rebel without a cause. I just didn't want to listen just cause. Why am I listening? So I would say flow with a purpose. Let it change. Take advice. Listen. Sit down and listen. Everybody not always gonna understand you. Sometimes you're not being a rebel. Sometimes people just don't know how to deal with you not bending to their philosophy or how things should go. And that's fine. Let people do that. It's all right. Everybody not the same. God didn't create us the same. Keep pushing. Be you, but don't let being you keep you away from everybody. I would say one of the best things about AZ is that they individualize the students. They sit down, they talk to you, they listen to what your goals are, what you want for yourself, and they try to find the best path for you. And they provide you with options, but in the end, it's all up to you. Like they don't push you nowhere. You get choose. They just give you the options. They let you know that there are other options. As far as AZ, that's what they do. They individualize the students. So it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more, it's easier to mold onto like one student instead of a big body. GRCCA, I would say, if you don't see yourself going directly to college, or if you're not as academically sound as you might want to be, or you don't seem to be, or if you have other goals, like different alternative goals that's not really normal, like not mainstream goals, like go to college, get married, or something like that, or you have businesses that you want to start that like innovative, I would say go get a trade. You might not enjoy it. Go get a trade that pays good, and use that trade to gain the funds to do what you want to do. I would say like if you wanted a hair salon suite, something like that, you can't really get that without money. You can have all the dreams you want, but with no money, it don't matter. Not that money is everything, but money is definitely a tool that we need to use more. So I would say go to GRCCA, get a high-paying trade, and I'd say be calculated with your decision. You might not love it, but don't do something that you hate in the end, because it's probably gonna fail. So get something you wouldn't mind doing. You might not have a passion for it, but use that to create what you want to do, I would say. As far as David Johnson, he was a mentor that came my first semester at AZ. He brought in a lot of different people in different fields. He showed us that things can happen. Like, I think he might have been like he brought like the first millionaire around that I think I ever like had a conversation with. Different businesses, just alternative routes. And this was back when I was still a little stubborn, so I seen like, all right, it's other ways to do things than just me. He just gave us just good advice. And also at AZ, at the end of my first semester, I got chosen to go to the Steve Harvey camp in the summer. And when that came around, that was a big experience, big moment. Like, that was a different experience as far as just the people he sat us in the room with. Steve Harvey himself, like, just things I learned as far as just respect in general. I would say I wasn't disrespectful, but as far as just being extra respectful, being extremely respectful, as far as, I would say, towards females for sure, being respectful. I would say I learned how to tie a tie. I learned just different things to kind of things you need to be as a man a little bit. You feel me? Some things were reinforced from like what my dad already taught me, but it was different hearing it from another male, because you you're like, oh, dad don't know what he's talking about. But then you go out into the world and you see, no, this is exactly what my dad told me. And I would say that the Steve Harvey experience was definitely good. I met a lot of good people there. I would say that experience made me appreciate my dad way more. Like, because it was all boys camp. It was all boys, and it was older men. And I would say that definitely, that made me appreciate my father way more than I did previously.